Oh, shit.
Welcome to the chair, sir.
Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here. Any moment now, we're going to be taking off.
Where are you going to go to?
I don't know, man, but it feels good. Turn the air conditioning on, please.
I don't know if the air conditioning's working today.
Do you mind if I take my shoes off?
Yeah, I think that's all right.
Is that all right? You don't see my feet.
No, we don't see your feet there. We might smell them, but we don't see them.
No, you won't smell them. They're really clean.
Okay, that's all right. I only want clean.
And by the way, I wear my Crocs, you know, so my Crocs are like very airy.
Your Crocs are airy. Well,
These are airy, see them?
Crocs are airy.
These are airy. You know what's good about these Crocs? Is they've got these little knobs on the bottom. This on the bottom of the inside there, see? So I can scratch my feet and talk to you at the same time.
Multitasking.
Yes, right. How's it sound?
How's it sound?
Beautiful, right? Okay. All right.
So we've got about 15. Are you bearing up, sir? Or is this?
We're bearing up. The things are working. All systems are go. This is a great chair, man.
You have no idea who sat in that chair.
I don't know who sat in this chair.
Well, the last person sitting in that chair was probably Meryl Streep.
Really? Hey, wait a minute. You know, Meryl Streep's got the greatest makeup people in the world.
Just won an Oscar for it, didn't it?
Maybe this is Meryl Streep.
It could well be.
Maybe I'm sitting in Meryl Streep. Ah, Meryl, it's so nice to see you again. Oh my God, you feel so smooth. You know, she's really an adorable woman, and she's a really good actress. And by the way, I mean, I don't know, she claims to be up there in the age, but she's not that, you know, she's really cute, man. I thought she looked great on the Oscars. I mean, with the, you know, with her hubby and all. Yeah.
This is another long-standing couple. I think they were.
Yeah, they've been together forever.
List in Hollywood Reporter a few weeks
I mean, it's just amazing that they're together. Now somebody's gonna.
I'm getting told that we have some reflections on
My glasses, I'll take them off.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I don't have to see what you look like.
No, it's probably better if you don't.
I say, like, take my glasses off. Yeah, we'll go at this blind, baby. You know what I mean? Like, the whole thing about it is sometimes it's a good thing to do, you know, take your glasses off, go to a bar, you meet a girl. She could be like the ugliest woman in the world. Doesn't matter. She's got a nice smell about her. She's really got a good feeling to her. She's got no glasses, you got no glasses, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, you guys look like an impressionistic painting to me right now.
That's the best we've ever looked, I suspect.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'll ask you a question. You sure? You up for a question?
I'm ready.
I'll do a couple on the Lorax, actually, first.
Good.
One of the challenges of bringing a children's book, like Dr. Seuss, to the screen without making a complete pig zero of it, which has happened in the past.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that basically, if you love the material, like we all love Dr. Seuss, he's a great writer, and he's been a mainstay in my family for many years, with my 3 kids, and you know, you have a kind of a respect for him, which is like big time respect, because he's not only entertaining you with his stories, but he's also leaving you with a takeaway, which is a great message. Like in the Lorax, our movie is very, very true to the book, although we did expand it a bit. And I think the 2 characters that were added, the boy and the girl, the catalyst for our movie, the launching point, if you will, is romance. And it's like, for instance, the way it's done, which I thought was so great. I mean, I'm an actor in the movie. I did the voice. I had a great time, and you know, I read the script and I thought it was terrific. But you know, they all put it together at Illumination, and Chris, the director, and Chris, the producer, and there's probably another Chris in there somewhere. But the thing is that, you know, you have a young boy who's taken by a girl down the block, you know, who's like a little bit older than he is. She's maybe seemingly a little unattainable. And he goes over there with a ruse of his airplane falling in her yard. And what he finds out is that she wants something, and what she's asking for is something real. She's never seen a real tree. I thought that was such a great touch, you know, the whole idea of having that intro. And I think a lot of people respond to the fact that the movie's fun and the fact that it has this great message but also there's a really artistry the way they put it all together because, I mean, this happens every day in real life. A woman or a man asks somebody of the opposite sex for something real. And that's what we all want. We want something real. And in our case, he has to go on a quest to find it.
What was it like to build a character just with your voice? And
You know, it's-
did you avoid playing yourself?
No, not at all. I never try to do that because I learned early on in my studies. At least this is the path I took. The idea is that I try to put as much of myself in every character. I was in my studies. I learned, or I was told, they say that there's a color wheel. There's this kind of like big wheel that has all the emotions and things that are that you deal with as a character and that you deal with in everyday life. And there's one dominant thing that, or two or three dominant traits or whatever, how many that make up who you are, who Danny is, who I am in my life. And those things can't be squelched totally when you work on a character. Those things are going to be there for, with you no matter what. So then you just kind of move the other sensibilities to a more dominant position. That's like in theory the way it works. So when I went to do the Lorax, I always thought, well, it would be really great for my voice, because this is a whole different kind of thing with the voice. You're not going to see what I look like. People know what I look like. People know my voice, and they associate it with me. And so I didn't want to change it at all. I just wanted to be really natural and as close to myself as I possibly could.
So when you did the Italian version, what was your approach to that apart from just trying to get the pronunciation right?
Well, a big thing was to get the pronunciation right. See, I already done the American version, and I knew where I was going with the character. So my task was and I said to everybody in all the different countries, I did German and Italian, and I did Spanish 2 times, and I did Russian. I said that, like, you guys be the judge. If it doesn't sound great, you got plenty of great actors in your country who can dub my voice, but I want it to be respectful. I don't want it to be like a travesty just because it's me, my voice. I want it to be real close to. I don't want as little of an accent as possible. And maybe it was easier in Italian, but I wouldn't know, because I worked just as hard on the Italian as I did on the Russian and as I did on the German and Spanish.
Why did you become an actor?
Well, because first of all, I never really planned on it when I was a kid. I never really thought to pursue it. I wasn't a child star or actor, or not even a child anything in terms of the acting world. But I was a big movie buff, so I always felt that I could do it. I'd go into the movies and see Bogey, and I'd see all these characters, and I was a big Jerry Lewis fan, and I liked the Three Stooges, and I liked all the comedies and everything. But I also liked, people like Gary Cooper and John Wayne, and all the cowboys, and anyway. I could keep naming actors, but I always felt that I could do it, but I never really admitted that I would want to try it. But I, somewhere deep down, and I don't really even remember when it dawned on me that. And then circumstances got me into the business. It was my sister, basically, who was. I was a late baby, like my mom was in her 40s, and my sisters, who were much older than I am, they raised me, really. And they were very very strong characters, like New Jersey girls, Italian girls, who got their way with their wiles, they were. But I love them dearly, and they influenced me big. And my oldest sister was a hairdresser, and I was out of high school. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just like, I actually had a job as a gardener with the guy, Giacomo De Sarno. He was also an Italian guy, but an Italian-American. And I was going to do that, but it wasn't the season, and it was sporadic work. And she says, well, why don't you come to work for me? I'll give you a job. And I said, well, what am I going to do? She's got a beauty parlor. And she said, well, you can come to work for me. I'll send you to school, and you become a hairdresser. And I said, well, it's kind of weird, Ange, don't you think? I mean, I don't have any desire to do that, and I don't have any skills about it. She said, don't worry about it. You'll I'll send you to school, and you'll come out of school after 6 months, and you'll have a position in my shop. You'll be able to do make some money. So she kind of talked me into it, and I went to the school and dragging my feet like a little kid. I was about 18 or 19. It was after high school. And she bought me a kit with all the stuff in it and got me a smock. And I went out there, and when I walked in, I knew that I would be forever indebted to her, because there were 40 girls my age in the room, all wanting to be hairdressers. And I said, oh my God, I was alone. I was like a sultan in a tent full of beautiful women. It was 40 young girls, all my age, and that was one of the best summers I ever spent. And then I went out and got a job with her. Okay. You're not getting what you want. Ask me another question. Go ahead.
All right. One of the weirdest things about rewatching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is seeing you in it. Not because you're in the movie, it's because the Martini character is so unlike any other Danny DeVito character who came thereafter.
Right.
That, of course, came before Taxi. How responsible was Louie De Palma of establishing this irascible scoundrel?
Oh, he was very responsible. Very responsible. You see, when I read that script, I loved that character. Now, Martini was more of a departure for me than you'd think. See, my sensibilities and my demeanor was somewhere definitely between Martini and De Palma, and closer maybe to De Palma myself. So Martini was more like the Meryl Streep kind of thing, where I was hiding inside of this character that I created from going to a mental institution and observing a couple of different guys and putting them together. One guy was a guy who thought that the waters were rising constantly. Like every place he looked on the ground was water rising up. So he always sat like this on his feet, like this, no matter where he was, whether he was on a chair like that or a chair like this. So that was one of the characteristics. The other thing was that he was always seeking approval and seeking making sure everything was fine, A-OK, because he was in the war. Actually, he was a gunner pilot, and one of the things he did was he saluted everybody. So it was always, and he would always want things to be exactly right. So with whoever's with him, so I go, yeah, is everything? But he didn't have the words to say, is everything okay? I mean, can you tell me if there's anything wrong? So he would just shorthand that into yes, yes, yes.
That irascible scoundrel, yes. How much have you sought out roles that suited that character, or is it just you?
Well, they came after me. I mean, I was like...
Yeah, but did you deliberately want to continue that kind of identity?
Yeah, the idea is that what you do as an actor or a director or a producer, you're out in the jungle. You're in the middle of you don't know what the hell's going to come along. I mean, maybe some people do. A guy like Woody Allen, he can write whatever the hell he wants. He's one of the most prolific writers in the business, and he can, just create this character that he does, and he can put it in different situations, whether it's, lies and misdemeanors or bananas. He's got that range. I mean, he's developed over the years. But when you're out there as an actor or a director or a producer who is not you're in the jungle looking for stuff to happen. You look around the tree and you see something, and it's something that you might be able to sink your teeth into, and you grab it, if it's available to you. They're not always available to you. So, like, right away, I was in, Louie De Palma land, and then I went to Romancing the Stone land, and then I went to, and then meanwhile, what I was doing was directing. I was trying to direct, and I went to Owen in, and the reason I directed Throw Mama from the Train was because Billy Crystal and those guys wanted me to play Owen, and I said, I'll do it if I can direct it. Because I had a feeling about the dark comedies that I liked so much, and so, it's a combination of seeking things, always keeping busy, and then the fruit that falls from the tree that you have to embrace. And that's what happened here. And even with the Lorax, I mean, I didn't set out. I love the Lorax. I love his sensibilities and his politics. And if you're looking at him as a political figure, because he's just a creature in the woods who wants things to be right, and just, and defend some trees who have no way to defend themselves, actually defend the animals' habitat and defend the Earth's existence. So, it's a gift when something like that comes around the corner for you.
Okay, I'm being told to...
I know, you got to hurry up,
I need
shut
to
up.
ask one last thing.
I'm the one I take up all the time.
No, you speak... Actually, another gentleman who sat in that chair who would never finish an answer was your good friend Milos Forman.
Milos, that's my good buddy.
I would tell him anyway, but my last question is, looking back over your career...
Milos was a good guy, gave me a nice part in the movie, and his direction was to everybody, that is not natural!
You like doing...
I love him. I love him.
I wanted to ask you about Man on the Moon, but there's not time.
Man on the Moon.
But, okay, looking back on your collaborations with Schwarzenegger, collaborations with Nicholson, your collaborations with Burton, your directing, what is it still about acting and directing that you love?
Well, I love the fact that I could dive into something like as an actor where I feel like I could participate in some, character's life. I'm going to do a part on the stage coming up in London. I'm going to go do Neil Simon's a revival of his play, The Sunshine Boys. And I haven't been on the stage since like the 70s. And I just love the fact that I'm going to go in there and learn this part. This part is not like it's a really, Willie Clark is, a guy who's trying to hold on to things. He wants things to be as they were, in his life. So I love that. And then directing, I'm doing a movie that I'm editing now. I'm doing it myself. I'm editing. It's like kind of an apocalyptic thriller that I made for Peanuts, and I shot on Alexa, and I'm cutting it on a Final Cut, and it's like, it's a different kind of movie for me. It's more dark and a little bit scary and a little bit like. In the Fritz Lang Brechtian kind of no exit way, Ionesco-y kind of. It's hard to describe, but it's like different. It's not like Twins, or it's not like Matilda, and it's not like Throw Mama from the Train or War of the Roses or Hoffa or any of the movies that I've directed. And so I like to do different things, and I also feel like I'm a late bloomer. In my life, evolutionary in how I think of things that are like politically correct or I didn't mean to point to you. I just see two figures over there. I don't know who you are. I'm like blind as a bat without my glasses. But I feel in everything that I do, it's like it's a process. It's like if I take a script, it takes me a while to like really sink my, dive into it. But once I always equate it to like going into the water in the Atlantic Ocean. Like you're walking in and you it's cold as hell, and you're walking in and your ankles are in and you're going farther in, you're walking in closer and closer, and the waves are getting higher, and now they're at your knees, and you can almost not feel your toes. And you're not even in the water yet. You're not in yet. You're not in, you're going in. And then as soon as your balls hit the water, you gotta go in, baby, because it's gonna, you jump in, and now you're in the water, and it's great, and it's not only balls, it's probably the same thing with women.
So in all these years, what have you learned?
I tell you, man, I learned that I don't know anything, and that I'm trying to, it sounds like a cliche, but it's true. I'm learning every day new things. And, and I just hope that adage about teaching old dogs new tricks doesn't work, because I want to learn some new tricks.
And on that note, before your people kill me.
Yeah, they're going to come and get it. Well, Alice will kick the shit out of you, man.
I'm ready for
She's a pregnant woman with a right cross. She's a pregnant woman with a right cross that you won't even see coming, but it'll make your head spin. You'll knock you until next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfecto! Okay, it was really fun. I'm sorry that you didn't get all your questions in.